Shadow, I'm hoping service holds out. It can be a little funky here in Roar Ridge. If anybody is watching, welcome, welcome, welcome to another Wildcat Sanctuary live post. There we go, starting to see some people file in. Hey, Susan. Hey, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Wednesday. Holy buckets, Judson. Kelly Anderson is watching. Hey, Kelly. Kelly Anderson is watching Shadow cool off with a little blood sickle. Hey, Susan Mensa, there's my first comment. Kitty and Judson exclaims, Daniel. What's going on, Daniel? Hope all is well. Hello there, Beverly. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Rosemary's here. Cheryl's here. Good morning, good morning. Maria P. Good morning to you. I think it suffices to say that Black Leopard Shadow is having a good morning as well. She's enjoying a little blood sickle that I just dropped off in there for her, and she says, "Don't mind if I give that a lickaroo or two." And you have Bobcat Tau. He says, "I got a blood sickle as well." That's a nice way to cool off. A little treat here. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is another hot one here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. If you're in the Midwest, you are feeling the heat. And the cats, obviously, we give them many opportunities to beat the heat. And that comes in the form of their indoor bedrooms, which stay cool during these summer months. Hey, Miss Al. Oh, she says, we got more food there? I don't have any more food, just blood sickles. That's the caretakers who come with the food. And of course, in the form of their indoor bedrooms, plenty of shade options that you see kind of dispersed around our habitats, be it perch platform, be it coming from some of the natural offerings, like the trees, bushes, tall grass, things like that. And then obviously helping the cats cool off in ways like our pools, our large in-ground pools. We have smaller kiddie pools. We have, like we're seeing here today, blood sickles. Might sound a little unnerving, but we want to put every single drop of food to use, if you will. We get plenty of drippings that come from our beef orders and chicken orders, and we kind of mix that with a little water, and voila, you have yourself a blood sickle. You hear us say tuna sickles, but sometimes we'll even mix catnip into some of the sickles. The cats like that a lot. But obviously, we want to be making sure our cats are staying cool and comfy when it's so hot out like this, Mr. Simon. And also, I forgot to mention, obviously, we're having multiple water sources throughout the cat's habitat. A cat like Shadow, who we know is one of our oldest rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, her and Bosco, two oldest cats here at 22 years old. We want to make sure that those kidneys are going to be kind of just obviously not under stress, and giving them as much water, as much shade is obviously, Mr. Simon, going to keep all of our cats, not just those geriatric cats who are more prone to renal issues, safe and comfortable during these summer months. What do you think, Mr. Big Tiger? And Simon's happy to oblige. Ooh, I'm back. Wow, I was about to get out of Dodge there. And I think we will get out of Dodge because service can just be a little funky over here. Tao is wrapped up with her blood sickle. Shadow's still very much enjoying hers. I might walk around the corner. Bogart the bobcat behind me got a blood sickle. But sorry about that, Adrian saying, no, keep stopping. Yeah, I got to get out of Dodge, Miss Shadow. We're out of here. Truth to tell, I want to maybe go and see. And we are taking the Catmobile today. I'll still do plenty of walking, don't worry. But let's find some greener Wi-Fi pastures. And also saw some of the cats in Wild Woodlands enjoying themselves this morning. So we'll see what they're up to. Hopefully caretakers aren't doing any feeding or cleaning. Bumpy, bumpy. Here's Tiger Zeekers. Oh, and it looks like I chose poorly. I see that caretakers are up at the building for Wild Woodlands, and they are getting there, kicking butt, doing what they normally do, doing some feeding. They'll take that opportunity once the cats are shifted into their indoor bedrooms. They'll feed them. They'll get into their outdoor habitats, get some fresh water in there, clean those water buckets, perhaps a little mowing, perhaps a little enrichment placing. And so we will just have to continue to find greener pastures. And I think I may just walk for that. Okie dokie. I have Mr. Dimitri here. I'm going to walk over and check in on his brother Griffin, who's a little bit more visible and facing us. Zeke, Dimitri, and Griffin got to catch those boys in their pool yesterday. Or maybe it was Monday. You can see nice and clean yet. But like all of our resident tigers who have in-ground pools, rest assured, they are experts. If you were to ask the caretaking staff, experts at getting that pool nice and dirty. And Mr. Zeekers, we wouldn't have it any other way. You guys get to have the fun, and we'll pick up after you. That's how we like it, Goofy. Okay, Mr. Zeekers. Take my sunglasses so I can see a little bit. D. Golub saying the video stopped. Yeah, it looks like we've been facing some kind of tough internet issues today, so sorry about that, D. And always kind of backing out of the stream and then re-entering it can sometimes remedy that issue, so always try that. And here comes Brother Dimitri. Says I can't let Mr. Zeekers have all the limelight. Zeke and Dimitri, you'll find these two horsing around together, you'll find them napping together, you'll find them grooming one another. I think that the Tiger Trio's relationship is certainly emblematic of kind of true siblings. A sneaky face from Mr. Dimitri, and brothers in particular. They'll roughhouse, they'll push each other's buttons, but at the end of the day, they love one another and they're respectful with each other. And happy that they get to live as siblings here. What do you think, Mr. Dimitri? Is there some good stinky down there? He says, yes, sirree. Caretakers will just disperse different scents throughout the habitat for the cats to find. Obviously, just in the frame here, I see a barrel, I see pool toys, perches, platforms, all types of things that a tiger would love. I'm glad that these boys get to enjoy such a stimulating environment, and obviously that's incumbent upon us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. There's no denying that our rescues are living in a captive environment. We didn't put them in captivity. We want to right the wrongs of what is ending these cats up in captivity for the rest of their lives. But knowing that fact, it's obviously upon us to make sure that we're giving them as stimulating and enriching as an environment. And just one of the many ways that we talk about how your support is integral to the happiness and the compassionate life every single one of our rescues know. It's absolutely tremendous. And just look at this free roaming habitat. It's all yours, boys. All yours. Let's see. So if they're in Wild Woodlands, and I also know that a caretaker is in Cougar Cove, maybe I can see if Henry and Haley are out and about. I haven't seen those two Bobs in a little bit. Catch up on some comments while I'm cruising. Marcy Sanborn. That's one thing all of us animal people, cat people can identify with is the little voice that we make up for the animals in our lives. Always adds a kind of special aspect to the relationship that we have with our cats. And let's see, oftentimes when we come across Henry and Haley's habitat, it takes the paparazzi just a few moments to track them down. But again, I see that the maintenance UTV is pulled up to the building, so I might be striking out on Feline Meadows as well. Actually, look at that, Judson. Keep your eyes peeled. I see a Nico, or a Henry, under this platform, and unfortunately it's just so darn bright out that I'm having issues seeing the screen. But if you can see just a little bit of a bobcat mug under there, that's Bobcat Henry, who, just as I said earlier in this post, is taking advantage of one of the many ways that the cats can keep cool during the summer. He says, I'm tucked up under a platform. Look at all these bushes and tall trees I can hide out in the shade in. But we're being interrupted by Leo singing across the way. What's he barking at? Truth. I even thinking they're gonna finish. Truthfully, the lions are kind of ceremonious in their caroling, and caretakers are up at the building. Caretakers are doing their thing. Perhaps they had their meal for the day, and it is kind of just right on schedule. Leo and Mansa will just start singing, and like I said, kind of adding a little bit of ceremony to the caretakers being up at the building, maybe sharing our thanks and appreciation with them. Oh yeah, they definitely just had their meal. I see some grooming lions. Licking chops, cleaning paws. Just like your domestic cat would do at home, but magnified on a big cat scale. Here comes Miss Mansa, she says, you know what, the shade's good. I might get myself some vitamin D. Mansa's a big proponent of the top of the platform. She says, nope, I'm just finding another patch of shade. Nothing to see here, fella. Let's see what Leo's up to. Welcome, everyone. If you're just joining us, by the way, it is a very much a summer day here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Holy cow! Well, today's the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, so I think it's only appropriate. That feels about as much as a summer day could feel. Tomorrow, everyone, tomorrow is a big day at the Wildcat Sanctuary. A lot of things have been happening here. Our Cats in Crisis campaign. We announced the rescue of 2 new Savannah cats, F1 Savannahs, Coco and Cine, who we met yesterday. Of course, we don't want to forget Violetta and Lucy, who we officially said yes to and are going through the paperwork to get those 2 tigers from Argentina here to the Wildcat Sanctuary, just like we did with the 2 lions in front of us now. And tomorrow is the spay of Tigress Indy. Indy's going to be spayed tomorrow, and we're going to be obviously bringing you guys in and sharing with you via live post Indy's spay day, just as we've done for, I can think of Nova, I can think of the lion cubs. Just as we've done before, we'll be bringing you guys in our on-site hospital and just kind of showing you the ins and outs of a procedure like that, and obviously how your support is integral to making sure that we are serving the veterinary and medical needs of our rescues. And perhaps maybe you're new to the Wildcat Sanctuary and you hear, they're spaying a tiger. Aren't tigers endangered species? Well, truth to tell, the tigers here in captivity at the Wildcat Sanctuary hardly have any genetic resemblance to their wild counterparts. And then second of all, it's actually going to benefit the health of our female cats in the long run. It's going to prevent things like pyometra, which is an infection in the uterus, and it's also going to lower the risks of certain types of cancer. We've made at least one or two kind of handy and educational TikToks that we'll maybe kind of revamp it and redo it and just kind of talk about why we neuter and spay our rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and how through that effort we're actually helping conservation efforts. Couple lazy lions here. So that'll be again happening tomorrow. I'd probably expect Tammy to be checking in on the first live post, let's say around 10 a.m. or so, between 10 a.m. and 11. Can't give you guys an exact time, as things are kind of always a little bit fluid on those vet days, since we are working with live animals and we got to go at their pace. Let me see if I can see any cougs over across the way. And heck, might go check in on the cheetahs, but we might wrap it up soon. We'll see. You can see a long cougar tail kind of slinking away over here. That looks like Quincy. He's giving me some patented cougar hisses. We'll just hang out for just a minute, Mr. Quinn. Gotta check up on some comments. Hey, Stephanie Hutton, thanks for joining today. Marcy Sanborn saying that you've watched so many cat surgeries. Well, and certainly rest assured, we'll be sharing kind of the prep of the procedure, but obviously, not only because it is graphic content, actually watching kind of surgery, a spay surgery happen, but also we want to keep the operation room sterile. So that means nobody walking around with a phone and kind of filming the surgery itself. We just want to be as safe as possible, which means keeping that surgery area as sterile as possible. But rest assured, lots of details will be shared right from the on-site hospital, as kind of leading up right before the incision itself, and as we typically do on spay days like that. I was hoping to come around the corner and see Miss Daisy, but I don't see her. And I maybe wanted to go and see some cheetahs, since in the interim, actually let's say hi to Nova here. So Nova and Indy have been switched. We have Indy now in the habitat closest to the building, because that's where she'll be recovering, is inside. Hey, pretty Nova. And Nova hanging out in the front half of the habitat, enjoying her pool and some of the other fixings in this space while Miss Indy recovers. And as you guys, thank you for all the Chuffs. And as you've kind of learned from perhaps Nova's spay, perhaps the line spays, it's about a 7 to 10 day recovery period. We're doing things like giving a cat like Indy lots of enrichment to keep her occupied, keep her stimulated, because she will be confined to a smaller space, just to make sure that she's not going to injure herself during the recovery process. But certainly knowing that we're going to be doing every little thing to make sure that she's keeping happy and occupied, not to forget the vigilant observations during that recovery process as well from our caretaking staff. Hi, Miss Nova, Miss Chuffy. We got a couple of chuffing tigers, I tell ya. And we'll kind of go all the way around here and see Miss Indy and say hi to that pretty gal. Wondering if Nova's gonna follow us and we could get a tiger greeting amongst the two cubs here. Shoom. Good stalk, pretty lady. Yeah, there's a pal across the way. Where is she? I see her getting some shade. And she says, I don't have time to stalk. I'm resting. Let's see if I can go up and catch a better glimpse of Miss Indy. And yet again, Judson forgot his bug spray. Keep on getting eaten alive. Hey, pretty girl. Big day for you tomorrow. And like I said, that'll be probably happening around in that kind of 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. window. Indy's spay. And of course, tomorrow's Thursday as well, which means we can look forward to a Wildcat wrap-up. Woo! Howdy, Miss Indy. Whoa, airborne. We can look forward to a Wildcat wrap-up from Tammy. It's a kind of weekly state of the sanctuary address that she's been making that I've certainly been enjoying. Looks like a lot of our followers and supporters have been enjoying as well. Just updates on cats, updates on the rescue industry, updates on the sanctuary itself. Yes. Cat updates, you name it, Miss Indy. I can tell your coat's got a little lighter since you've came, pretty lady. We can tell that coat's got a little bit lighter. I'm looking for Miss Nova. Oh, I think I see Nova slowly making her way over here. And by now, Nova and Indy certainly get a lot of time along their shared wall together. Let's see if I'm missing any questions, pretty lady. Tanya says she loves the sanctuary wrap-ups. Glad to hear it, Tanya. Hola, Sarai. Good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Janet Davis. Tracy F. really appreciates Tammy's Thursday sanctuary wrap-up. Stinky face. A Chuff and a stinky face. Now that's a new one. Glad to hear that though, Tracy. Lots of chuffs happening here, that's right. Between Indy, between Nova. She says, something stinky over here, I tell you. If they put some sense on my toy, let me get to the bottom of this. Tracy F. noticing a lot of that kind of fluff, that kind of bushy tiger cub coat that Nova still has. We'll see you tomorrow, Miss Indy. We'll see you tomorrow, pretty lady. You're right. Definitely looking, just, in the nicest way possible, Miss Nova. A little raggedy looking. I said that quietly. But just her fur is, she doesn't have as sleek as a coat as perhaps we were just seeing on Miss Indy behind us. And she says, my imperfections are my perfections. Come on now. Pool time for Nova. She's like, I had a hunch that Judson probably be wrapping up this live post after he went and said hi to Indy, but let me just keep the party going. Faith Warner, you're commenting that you're surprised Nova hasn't turned green after her complete and utter devotion to grass. And I'm surprised sometimes about that myself. Maria P saying Nova is getting so big. That's right. Or perhaps you're maybe also saying that about Indy, and that's right and right. Indy and Nova are growing tiger cubs, and both are kind of an unfortunate example of how we found a kind of surplus or uptick in the trafficking of these tiger cubs. You can think of a cat like Nova. You can think of Indy, who we just rescued. We're happy to give them a forever home here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, but you know, we need to kind of put the pieces together and understand where these cats are coming from and why we're seeing an uptick in these tiger cubs, and perhaps the illegal trafficking that's happening, international trafficking that's happening to get these tiger cubs here. All righty, everyone. It's a pretty subdued pool experience for Nova right now. She says, I'm bobbing the balls around. I don't need to go splash all the time, she says, but rest assured, I do like making a big old splash. And it's really cool to see how tigers, obviously you'll see kind of in a lot of our rescued tigers, we like to give them opportunity to get in the water and swim, as tigers are swimmers in the wild. And cool to see some of the natural adaptations of that. And the tigers have an incredibly oily coat which shed water incredibly fast. And so, for example, I mentioned we saw the tiger trio in the pool the other day. Well, Z came strutting on over to us, and it basically looked like he was virtually dry. He was still a little damp, but really cool to see kind of that oily coat of the tiger is able to shed that water really incredibly quickly. Look at that curly Q tail, Miss Nova. Let's see here. Tracy F is asking, did Diablo Guapo, who is a rescued jaguar here, like water? You know, Tracy, I might be talking out of turn. Diablo Guapo was before my time here, but I do recall, and someone could help kind of reinforce this, I do recall that Diablo Guapo did like a pool. And there might be some old footage, maybe on our YouTube channel, but if I'm not mistaken, I can reference with Tammy too. But Diablo Guapo, and did indeed a jaguar like a pool. Hey, thank you for the chuff. Hey Jeremy, how's it going? How did I miss this, you exclaim? Well, that darn Facebook isn't the best at sending out notifications sometimes. Glad to have you with us regardless. See, Soraya's curious about what are those dots on the back of the ears, and one of our followers answering that they're flashes, and they're called flashes, and those dots are meant to kind of resemble eyes, and can have two different reasonings that they can help a tiger in the wild. Is when a litter of tiger cubs is following mama, they can keep an eye on those spots. They look like a pair of eyes. Gives them a sense of direction to keep on following mama. And then also, it's just exactly that. It's also going to act as a pair of eyes to kind of ward off predators. And what do wild tigers have to be worried about in the wild? Other tigers. So meant to keep other predators like a tiger from sneaking up behind them. And I think Nova's giving us a great example. Is she looking at us or is she looking away? I couldn't tell because of those flashes. How educational, Miss Nova, hmm? Alrighty. Step down from my little perch there. Hey, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in to another live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Started off with Black Leopard Shadow snacking on a blood sickle. And she sure was enjoying that. Bobcat Tao got one as well. And then we just started cruising. Got to see a handful of cats. Tiger Trio, Leo, Mansa, Indy before her big spay tomorrow, which we're looking forward to everyone tuning in via Facebook live post. And then wrapping it up with a pool-bound Nova. Like I said, she says she's enjoying herself, you know? She says, I'm getting older. I can soak. I don't have to go splish splash all the time. Kind of just looks like she's presiding over her toys and just counting them and recounting them. She says, is this one still here? Yeah, I like this one. Make sure this one stays right here. And what about that other one? Okay, it's still here too. All right, and that one there. All your toys are accounted for, Miss Nova. Thanks for making it another wonderful day of living at heart for so many, wild at heart for so many, everyone. And looking forward to bringing you a live post with Tigress Indy as we continue to celebrate our Cats in Crisis campaign, where donations are doubled, and trying to show you all the different ways that you help the rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Thank you, everyone.